So I have two questions generally about counseling and not just marriage counseling. Now, the first question is, what is the role of the client in counseling? How does the motivation, readiness, and the cultural background of this client influence the counseling process? And second question is, how do we measure the effectiveness of counseling? What does a successful counseling look like, and how do we know it has been achieved?
Will you take it one by one, ma'am? I take it one by one. Or should I take it one? I will read it out. The first question is the role of clients in counseling. The role of clients in counseling. One second question is how to measure the effective counseling session. Am I right? Am I right? Effectiveness. Effectiveness of counseling. Okay, let me take the second one. The second question. Brother Blakim.
Assalamu alaikum. The question I want to ask is just about the emotional intelligence that you said. Okay, can you hear me now? You said we need to understand ourselves, right? And before you react to the other partner, you are supposed to read the emotion of the person. But in a situation whereby you've been trying to understand the person that you are staying with, that okay, he does it the first time, the second time I'm trying to understand, but it's not getting too much that it's already affecting your own mental health. So what that person's gonna do?
You get that, ma'am? Alright, you can answer the questions. That's all.
The first question, what is the role of a client to a
Yes.
counselor?
Yes.
When we say the role of the client, don't forget, client is like a customer coming to you for assistance. He or she needs something from you, and which is guidance, to guide him or her through the problem he or she is going through in a relationship. So what is the role? Is for you to be able to handle him or her on the issue on ground. And that is the first thing that we said, the rapport. Now, the role is for you to first build. You are the one that will lay the foundation that the client will lie on. Because if you are not able to handle the foundation of the rapport building, definitely he or she will not be able to pour all what is in your mind to you. And if you cannot get the source, there's no way you can handle it. Most especially when the client didn't trust you enough to say everything. Because one of the things they need, their role is to say everything and everything you need to know so that you can know where to come in. So one of the roles is for them to say everything, and you need to give them that listening here. And that is why, taking me to the second question of a section, the techniques of counseling. And that is why we have section. It can be 30 minutes. Training on the proper emotional. Somebody people here will not trigger. Other emotional intelligence, there's something we call emotional trigger and emotional jack. You can emotional trigger. If you are not careful with your emotion, if you get triggered easily, environmental pressure, you get hijacked your emotion, and that is the situation you will be able to express your feelings instead you express emotion. This is our inbuilt, whether from different personal heritage, to know the person you are dealing with. Emotional intelligence ability to get the first component is self-awareness. Being aware of your own temperament, the other person. Once you know this person is on the high side of you get you easily to do it. How do I manage others? The temperamental husband. Person is also is on you notice. You need to recognize what gets you triggered. So once you notice it, what is twist? Can you smile? Also like it's on a long one like yourself. The best of mankind are set. If you are sitting down, you can stand up, if you are standing, you can move, you know we've been giving it the right mind. So what you need to do is how to wild mind. This is what self-management is telling us. Once you study the person, this is what happens. You cannot change a man, no. It's one of the mistakes we make in marriage. That when you get married, you change. There's nothing like you change in marriage. Whatever you cannot, if you know it's a red flag, you break it. Just take it before marriage. Nothing marriage, because marriage itself is to manage. So when somebody has anger issue, you are still friendly, he slapped you. That is violence. It is different. It's not even red flag. My sister, gee. What do we do? So study the person, learn how to manage the person. So peaceful coexistence. Yes.
So management is the key. Permit me to recognize the presence of Amir MSSN Lagos State Area Unit, Brother Aldin Abiono. Please wave to us. I'm so sorry for the oversight. Sorry. So we also apologize in absentials, Brother Thani. Please help us extend our apologies to him. We are so sorry. We appreciate your presence. Thank you for coming. Okay, still in this ride with no bumps, it's still the Nasfat Counselling Committee Workshop for Faith-Based Organization. So we'll take the next item on the agenda, which is a lecture by Imam Sa'id Adekunle on the topic, Understanding the Islamic Perspective on Counseling and Therapy, exploring the compatibility of counseling and therapy with Islamic principles and teachings. Okay, I'll just bring the citation from my head, so we need to submit it. No problem. Okay, he's my brother. He's my my brother-in-law. What again? Okay, he's a stakeholder in Nasfat Youth Wing. What again? Okay, he's a lecturer in the Lagos State University of Education, and he's just be well seated and enjoy the ride. Imam Sa'id Adekunle.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All praise and honor is due to Allah for giving us the opportunity to have attended this workshop, and by His grace we are all gathered here to have it today. We thank Him for this and for what He is using every one of us for the development of Islam. I want to use the Chief Missioner as a point of reference to appreciate those on the podium. May Almighty Allah continue to strengthen you all. And to all our brothers and sisters, our mothers, fathers here present, may Allah continue to strengthen you. They are working on projecting my presentation. Because I have just some few minutes to spend with you here. And for anybody that has had opportunity of listening to my presentation before, I always like that it be interactive, because this is not a lecture. This is a workshop, and I'm supposed to just guide the discussion in this topic. And please pardon me. I came here with limited English, so when I exhaust them, I will start speaking my Yoruba. So I am only pre-informing you so that when I go to Yoruba, except if we have anyone here who does not understand Yoruba language, apart from the ears, who is an outsider. In this regard, I am not counting him. You should sit down with somebody that understands Yoruba to be doing interpretation. My topic is understanding the Islamic perspective of counseling and therapy, exploring the capability of counseling and therapy with Islamic principles. The next slide, please. What are we going to be looking at here? Just 5 things. And it will get to a point where I will need all of you because of your experience. Some of us have gone to school to study counseling. I studied counseling psychology. I know quite a number of people that have also done that. But there are people here that have not gotten certificates to have studied counseling or guidance and counseling or counseling psychology, whatever branch of counseling it is that we want to talk about. But they have wealth of experience that we can build on. Àwọn Yorùbá ní onírìnkúrìn, wọ́n ló ṣàgbà oníwèé mẹ́wàá. So ìrìnkúrìn yíyẹn tó ń jẹ́ experience, a máa jọ lò pọ̀ níbí báyìí in the course of my presentation. We'll be looking at introduction. Under introduction, we'll be having our opening quotation and definition of terms. Those that have spoken earlier have defined some of these terms, so I'll just walk past them. We'll be looking at the principles of Islamic counseling and therapy. We'll be looking at models of Islamic counseling and therapy, challenges, and finally recommendation. And especially about the recommendation, because we are all from different organizations. So, about the recommendation, next slide, please. Oba Allah, Oba Wasoro, Surah Al-Imran, Quran chapter 3, verse 159. And this verse of the Holy Quran, I think, has a lot to do with counseling. Allah says, فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَضًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ لَانفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ فَاعْفُ عَنْهُمْ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لَهُمْ وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُتَوَكِّلِينَ. Allah says, it is due to mercy from Allah that you deal with them gently. That was Allah talking to the prophets. That you deal with your followers, you deal with them gently. And had you been rough, hard-hearted, they would certainly have dispersed from around you. I have to stop that quotation there, because this has a lot to do with counseling technique. Some of these things Dr. Umuyiwa mentioned to us, and I wouldn't want to bother us with that. The meaning of counseling, we have all attempted that. I think Dr. Okuba ti jẹ́ àmọ́ bíbá ilé ẹ̀kọ́ pé counseling kì í ṣe advice. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá wá bá yín fún counseling, tẹ́ ẹ bá fún nímọ̀ràn fún àpẹẹrẹ ẹni tí mo fẹ́ fẹ́ yìí bákan ló ṣe ẹ wá sọ pé ó kàn ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ lórí ìrìn ni tẹ́ bá ti fẹ́ra yín báyìí ni wàá ṣe handle ẹ̀ tọ́rọ̀ bá yíwọ́ bàkan fẹ́ra wọn èyí ló máa ṣépè fún níjọ́ tó bá jẹ tọ́kí tó jẹ gbogbo ẹ̀bẹ̀ kò ní rántí yín o pé ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ ẹ ti kásẹ́lọ̀ yẹn níjọ́ tó pẹ́ bá fún lẹ́sẹ̀ kan lójú wa ní kò ní dáwọ́ kásẹ́lọ̀ yìí o lè rí láìlé lórí ni o that's why you don't advise so you just help people you guide them to taking informed decision tó bá wá take gẹ́gẹ́ bí àyà Kùránì chapter 3:159 yẹn wọ́n wá lọ fìtì sọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run tọ́ Ọlọ́run eléyìí mo fẹ́ ṣe o wàá kàn mí lọ́wọ́ lórí ẹ̀. So that is what we do. But when it comes to counseling, therapy, it is treatment intended to relieve or heal disorder. There are a lot of disorders. Professor Adisa had told us about, discussed mental health earlier. There are a lot of disorders there. Àmọ́ lára tá a fẹ́ jọ wò bí lèmi tèmi fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Wọ́n ní pé gbogbo àwọn models tí modern counseling tó ń gbé wá fún wa àtàwọn therapy tí wọ́n introduce fún wa àti gbogbo àwọn oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tí wọ́n mú wá fún wa. Ṣé àwọn ni wọ́n introduce ẹ̀ fún wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí Mùsùlùmí àbí Islam fúnra rẹ̀ gan ní in tó ti làálẹ̀ fún wa tó bá wa Mùsùlùmí náà kàn wọ̀ràn lórí ẹ̀. This is a wake up call. Torí pé Islam fún rẹ̀ ọba tó ní wá fún rẹ̀ tó dá wa tó lè mọ̀ wá tó mọ àwọn oríṣiríṣi ìpèníjà tó máa kojú wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀dá ó ti ní àwọn nǹkan kan tó ti kọ́ wa látara àdébò wa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam tó ṣe káwa Mùsùlùmí gbé kalẹ̀. Now let's look at principles. Lẹ́ máa fi mọ̀ wípé oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tó ti wá tó sì ń fèsì wa àtàwọn recommendation tí Islam ti mú wá ó ní ìbáṣe púpọ̀ tí mo fẹ́ lè sọ wípé àwọn modern counselors tí wọ́n mú theories and therapies wá fún wa ó ṣeé ṣe kó ṣe pé nínú kínní ni wọ́n ti ń jí tí wọ́n ń develop ẹ̀. Àwa tá a wá ní ojú wo la fi wò. Now, tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ principles of Islamic counseling and therapy, the first one there is, as counselors, ability to incorporate Islamic teachings into the modern counseling techniques. Our ability to incorporate Islamic teachings. There are lots of Islamic teachings. Tó dẹ̀ pé àyà Quran àtàwọn àdìs tó sọ yìí tó fẹsẹ̀ múlẹ̀ dáadáa tí wọ́n ṣàlàyé fún wa. Lára ẹ̀, as-sabr and dua, sùúrù, patience, and prayer. Nínú Quran chapter 2 verse 153, Ọlọ́run ní yā ayyuhalladhīna āmanū ista'īnū bis-sabri was-salāt. Ó ní mo pè yín tẹ́ nígbàgbọ́ o, ẹ máa wá ìrànlọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú kíni? Sùúrù àti àdúrà. Nínú àwọn principles tó gbé counseling dúró fún àwa tá a jẹ́ Mùsùlùmí kò sírú ìpèníjà téèyàn lè dojúkọ tó bá ti gbọ́yé wípé èèyàn máa ń ríran lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú àdúrà àti sùúrù ó wà lára tó wá tètè yanjú ìpèníjà yẹn. So how are we as counselors? How are we going to help people to realize that they have to be patient because in Allah ma sabirin. Allah is indeed with the patient. Tí Mùsùlùmí bá ti kọ́kọ́ ní ìgbàgbọ́ nínú yẹn, kò sí irú challenge tó lè máa face. Á ti rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí a phase of life. Á dẹ̀ rí pé èyí tó máa fún wa rí challenge yẹn gẹ́gẹ́ bí tó ń gbé òun jìnnà sọ́lọ́run. Á rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí tó fẹ́ gbé òun súnmọ́ lọ́run. This is very important. Lára ẹni gratitude wa àṣùkò nínú àwọn principles tó wà lọ́ndà Islamic teachings nìyẹn. Ọlọ́run ní anything tó ń bá ṣe fún yín la in shakartum la azidannakum wa la in kafartum inna adhabi lashadid. Ní tí bá ṣe kankan fún yín tẹ́ bá dúpẹ́, if you are indeed grateful la azidannakum, I will increase my favor and mercy on you. wọ́n láyé kàfárùtò tó bá wù pé irọ́ bí màá ti dúpẹ́ kí ló ṣe fún mi tí màá dúpẹ́ oríṣiríṣi ìtàn ni wọ́n sọ fún wa nípa àwọn tí wọ́n fọpẹ́lẹ̀ tí wọ́n dúpẹ́ tí wọ́n wò pé tọ́lọ́ ṣe fún kò jámọ́ kankan tó pé ọlọ́run wá tó fi tó tún le jù bẹ́ẹ̀ ló tún fi hàn wá. So eléyìí wà important fún wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí counselors. At-tawbah and al-istighfar, seeking repentance and forgiveness. Quran chapter 39 verse 53. Ọlọ́run ní mo pè yín èèyàn mi o. Ọlọ́run ní kúlíyá ìbádí alladhina asrafu la taqnatu min rahmatillah. I call on you, my servant, my slave that have transgressed. La taqnatu min rahmatillah. Do not despair. Do not lose hope in the mercy of Allah. Ẹ má já ọkàn kúrò nínú àánú Ọlọ́run nínú tó ṣiṣẹ́ tó wọ̀ fún yẹn torí wípé ẹlòmíì tó fẹ́ wá bá yín fún counseling ló ń fún rẹ ó ti kọ́kọ́ rí rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bíi pé ìyẹn ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ òun lòún jẹ. Ọlọ́run ò lè forí jò ó ṣe bá arábìs látọ̀dọ̀ àdébà Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam tí wọ́n lẹ́rú tó ti pààyàn 99 tó ń wá foríjì. Ṣé mo pé counselor tó kọ́kọ́ lọ bá òun ṣe professional àbí ẹ̀yin àwọn tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí nígbà tó lọ bá counselor tó jẹ́ professional ìyẹn náà máa jẹ́ professional but tí ẹ̀ bá wá bá yín tó ní ẹni tí mo wá lọ bá ó wá sọ yín kọ́nà ò lè foríjì mi mo wá pa àwọn kí lẹ̀ yóò sọ fún ẹ̀yin náà ò ní jẹ́ ká fi yín cascos ẹ̀yin yóò sọ fọ́nà ò foríjì ni but ká gbé sí level counseling nígbà tó lọ bá counselor tí ò wà tó ṣe professional ìyẹn sọ fọ́nà ò lè foríjì gẹ́gẹ́ bíi tí àwọn tí wọ́n ti wá síwájú especially Dr. Ogunyi máa sọ fún alẹ́ kan pé a gbọ́dọ̀ wà judgmental. Kéèyàn ti dọ́dọ̀ akẹ́sọ̀ pé ó ní ṣé lẹ́yìn náà ṣe máa mọ́kọ yín sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀.
wọ́n dágbére fún mi ń sìn mo dẹ̀ akí wọ́n ní ọmọ àwọn táwọn jọ wá yẹn ó ní áfúlà lọ́la ó ní wàlímọ̀ lọ́la àwọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ má wá torí pé ó hun àwọn irú nǹkan báyìí máa ń hun àwọn láti wá ni wọ́n fi kú omi báyìí àwọn models yẹn ó wù mí kó ṣojú wọn ibi tí gbogbo wa náà ti máa jọ dá sí nìyẹn there are some of these models especially 2 of them tó ṣe yí pé èmi fúnra mi mo develop ẹ̀. We need to come together as professionals. Tabadebe, we come together as professionals. Ká wo bá ṣe lè develop our models. Torí pé me, I have studied so many models nínú counseling tí gbogbo ayé ń lò. Báwo la ṣe máa islamize ẹ̀? Lára ẹ̀ ni apology. Tí n bá débi apology inshallah, màá tún sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀ mi torí àsìkò. Lára ẹ̀ ni adhikr. Lára principles. Gbogbo àwọn tí mo kà á lẹ̀ yìí. Lára incorporation of Islamic teachings ni the use of Islamic sensitive languages as counselors táwọn èèyàn bá wa normal counselors táwọn ṣe àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan wà àwọn gbólóhùn kan wà tó ṣe pé wọ́n máa jáde but tá a bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ Islamic counseling we have to be cautious of some of the languages we use because we are guided by the Quran and Sunnah. Irú àwọn languages wo la máa lò gbogbo àwọn eléyìí ṣe pàtàkì fún wa tá a bá fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ yìí tá a dẹ̀ fẹ́ rí ṣe bó ṣe yẹ ká ṣe. Taking care of spiritual concerns as much as we take care of our physical concerns whether they are emotional concerns whether they are psychological concerns púpọ̀ nínú táwọn èèyàn máa ń wá bá wa fún there are emotional issues psychological issues mental issues physical issues but as Muslims tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ Islamic counseling àwa gbọ́dọ̀ rí wípé there are also spiritual issues. Ó lójú counselor tẹ́ máa lọ bá tẹ́ sọ gbogbo ẹ̀ kalẹ̀ táwa máa fojú spiritual wò but as Muslims àwa mọ̀ nípa gbọ́dọ̀ fojú spiritual wò àwọn issues mi. Torí yẹn ló máa padà sún wa débi tá à ń pè ní rukia. Bákan náà, recognition of Islamic etiquette and values. Àwọn nǹkan kan wà tó yẹ pé Islam ti gbé kalẹ̀ fún wa. A bá fẹ́ ṣe marriage ni àwọn tó ní nǹkan ṣe pẹ̀lú family social relationship ikhtilat gbàtà dé àní káwọn obìnrin jókòó báyìí káwọn ọkùnrin jókòó báyìí there are some values Islam ti gbé kalẹ̀. So nínú Islamic counseling we have to recognize that. Now let's quickly look at models. Models here I think I have like 5 or 6 of them. Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ Islamic counseling. Islamic counseling model. Wọ́n máa fi model sí ni. Ó ní nǹkan ṣe. Marriage èèyàn ò bá lọ bó ṣe yẹ kó lọ, tí business èèyàn ò bá lọ bó ṣe yẹ kó lọ ṣe rúkìá. Ó ń ṣe rí pé àlùjọ̀nú bóyá ó ń sùn ó wá ń lálàá àwọn àlùjọ̀nú wá ń bá sùn àbí kò wá rórun sọ wá ń gbọ́ ariwo létí ẹ̀ àwọn tó dẹ̀ wá ń bẹ̀ láwọn ò gbọ́ nǹkan kan òun rí nǹkan àwọn tó wá ń bẹ̀ láwọn ò rí nǹkan kò ń ṣègbà ènìyàn tó nídìí rúkìá. Tíyan bá ti ń rí wípé a máa ń lọ sọ́jà ó ní à ń tà ó kàn déédéé di pé kò tà mọ́ sẹ́wọ̀n pé tó ń sọ́lé mi ìdílé babaláwo àtòrí òkè nìyẹn. Àwa gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ wípé rúkìá that is a model that Islam has given us, and that is how we look at counseling from the spiritual aspects too. So exorcism is one. Istikhara is the third one. Istikhara yìí òun ló máa help. This model is used to help clients clear their thoughts and feelings. Ṣé lè ní kí ṣe, ṣé lè ní kí má ṣe. You have made up your mind. Go and do your istikhara. Èèyàn mélòó nínú counselor ló máa advise client kó lọ ṣe istikhara bí o bá ń ṣe Muslim counselor. Tá a bá wá fáwọn Mùsùlùmí aláǹfààní láti meet àwọn tá a jẹ́ Muslim counselors. Bí tí wọ́n bá lọ táwọn yẹn bá ní ni wọ́n á fún wọn náà. So istikhara is a model itself tí Islam ti gbé kalẹ̀ fún wa. Ó máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́ tí a bá fẹ́ ṣe career guidance. Ó máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́ tí a bá fẹ́ ṣe premarital guidance and counseling. Ó máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́ lórí gbogbo àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí. Kódà kéèyàn ló fẹ́ travel kó wá máa rò pé iṣẹ́ tóun fẹ́ lọ ṣe lọ́hùn ibi ìbàyí university lecturer lòun tóun bá débẹ̀ wọ́n níyẹn lè máa fọlẹ̀ èwo ni kí n ṣe ń bẹ̀. Tẹ́ bá ní ó dúró sí ìbàyí tó bá jẹ́ pé nínú àwọn tí wọ́n jọ plan àti lọ tó bá ṣoríire lọ́hùn alóhùn náà dẹ̀ fẹ́ lọ o. Counselor yẹn ló ní kó dúró síbí o. Istikhara nínú model tí Islam ti gbé kalẹ̀ ni. Ẹyàn fún àfà ẹ bá mi ṣe ẹ bá mi yẹ̀wò má wọrí Islam ti ṣe bí wọn náà ṣe lè yẹ̀wò lọ yẹ̀wò fún rẹ. This is a model. Istishara ìyẹn náà wà ń bẹ̀ consulting others. Ẹ tó fẹ́ ṣe tó ń ronú pé ṣé kò ń fẹ́ gẹ̀ yìí àbẹ́lẹ̀ ni kò ń fẹ́. Lára táwọn bàbá wa ń ṣe lánàá tí wọ́n ní alátọ̀nà tó ṣe pé tán bá rí ẹni tí ọmọ wọn fẹ́ fẹ́ wọ́n máa wá ẹni tó mọ inú ilé yẹn tí wọ́n á tọ́ débẹ̀ àwọn ò ṣe mọ́ nísìnyí. Istishara ni wọ́n máa ń pè. It's a model that Islam recommends. It is about you. It's a model that helps people see the need to talk to others who have gone through similar path as theirs. These are often people that knows the person concerned better and are equipped to give the best support. Ànábì wa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam only who seeks counsel from Allah ẹni tó bá ṣe istikhara will not fail, and he who consults and seeks advice from the right people will not regret. Èmi mo fi the right sí o. Wọ́n lọ pàdé àgbà lọ́nà ní kò yẹ ẹ lọ́gbọ́n ó mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ wèrè ló ṣe dàgbà. It's not about consulting people, it's about consulting the right people. So eléyìí istishara model. Then we have the purification of the soul. Nínú models ni tó ṣe gbé àwa mùsùlùmí tá a lè lò fún Islamic counseling. À ń pè ní tezkiya. Wọ́n á máa pè ní tezkiya to nafs níbòmí. Purification of the soul. And Islam has recommended so many things that we can use to help us purify the soul. One, you want to identify and purify negative emotions and thoughts. You have to identify them. You have to develop a positive attitude. Somebody said our heart has not been created. Ọlọ́run ṣe dá ìgbáyà wa àti ìrònú wa, ìròrí wa, nǹkan gbọ́dọ̀ wà ń bẹ̀. Tí a bá wá ní negative emotions tó wà nínú ẹ̀, tẹ́ bá fẹ́ kí negative emotions yẹn kúrò, you have to substitute it with a positive one. Nínú counseling, ó ní nǹkan tá à ń pè ní cognitive behavioral therapy. Nínú àwọn therapy tá a máa ń lò ní. General behavioral therapies generally ó ní nǹkan ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹni yìí báyìí ló ṣe ń ṣe, àwa fẹ́ change ẹ̀ kó má ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́, kó má ṣe nǹkan míì. Nǹkan míì tó fẹ́ ṣe yẹn immediately tá a bá ti fẹ́ yọ èyí tó ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ la máa ti fi nǹkan míì yẹn sí. Torí tá a bá fi sí èyí tó ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ yẹn á padà síbẹ̀. Escape to nerves model ta ní láti develop ni. Encouraging more spiritual activities, ká máa kírun, tó bá mo máa ń kírun, ṣó máa ń kí sásìkò ẹ̀. Àwẹ̀ ń kọ́ Ramadan last year, wọ́n ní mo ti gbàgbẹ́yìn gbìyànjú Monday and Thursday. Inú àwọn model tó máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́ as Muslims nìyẹn. Then apology, mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé tá a bá débi models, àgbẹ̀ apology. Apology is a model that I personally thought about. This is a model that helps clients move past an issue quickly and helps the person who is wrong get over it. Apology for it. Ability ẹ wo in tó fa ọkọ àtìyàwó mi tó fi padà di wípé wọ́n kọra wọn, òun ni wípé ẹnìkan nù àjẹbí mámọ̀ ni. Nígbà míì dẹ̀ mọ̀ dẹ̀ wà tó ṣe pé ó mọ̀ àmọ́ ego ò ní jẹ́ kí n tó wá ṣe sorry fún. Torí pé a lot of times àwọn èèyàn ò kí ń fẹ́ ṣe sorry nítorí wípé wọ́n á rò pé ẹni tí bí yẹn á máa wọn lọ́dẹ̀. Àwọn náà á dẹ̀ máa expect nígbà míì pé òun ló yẹ kó kọ́ wá ṣe sorry, ó ṣe wá jẹ́ pé gbogbo ìgbà èmi ni mo máa ń ṣe sorry. Apology is a model that Islam has recommended for us. In any relationship that you share with people, the person who says sorry first is the person that values that relationship. It's not necessarily the person that is wrong. So we must let our clients see this. That is very important to always be ready to take up your responsibility lórí ẹ̀, your fault. Wọ́n develop àwọn 5 R's fún wa níbi tabansọ̀rọ̀ apology. Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ni recognizing one's fault. That's the first R, recognizing your fault. Accepting one's own responsibility. Responsibility is the second R. Expressing remorse. Ntí mo dẹ̀ ṣe yóò dá o. Tó bá ti yẹn, then restitution or reparation. Báwo ni mo ṣe reparation? Then finally, mi ní ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́. Nínú àwọn nǹkan tó máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́, and is a model that we need to develop. There is this quote, and I have to go with it. Sorry is just a word, but it has a magic impact on the human self, and it softens the hard heart, removes the mistake, and eradicates the dispute which might lead to fighting or committing a crime. Just to say sorry. You know about gbogbo nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Ganusi. Àbí? Imagine if that person had said, èmi kàn máa ń sọ tèmi ni, káwọn èèyàn má bínú o, anybody tó bá tún sọ̀rọ̀ lórí àwọn aláṣejù. Tẹ̀wọ̀n pé lára tó dá wàhálà yẹn lẹ̀ tó fi fẹ́ di pé kìíní sìn, ẹ̀yin náà mọ̀ tó fà á, because láyé irọ́ o, ẹni bá fẹ́ bínú kó máa bínú lọ. Sorry lásán yẹn, ó lè mú ogun, ó lè mú kó lẹ̀. Challenges, kí ló dé tá a fi tí èrì ṣe? Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́, lack of understanding of Islamic principles. Púpọ̀ nínú gbogbo tá à ń sọ yìí kò tiẹ̀ yé wa náà tẹ́lẹ̀. In tó fà á ta fi gbélé ìkalẹ̀ nìyẹn pé báwo ló ṣe jọ fẹ́ yé gbogbo wa, kò ń ṣiṣẹ́ nìkan. We are trying our best. Gbogbo àwọn missionaries wa, àwọn àfáà wa là ń ṣe training fún. A ṣe alọ́ Ìbàdàn ní bóyá November àbí October ní ayé wa Ìbàdàn pẹ̀lú àwọn missionaries ní gbogbo South West. A múra láti lọ Ìlọrin àti North. Àwọn missionaries ní Nasfat. Ní àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tiwa náà, torí pé táwọn èèyàn bá ní problem, àwọn àfáà ni wọ́n lọ ń bá. Táwọn èèyàn bá wá sàṣà látún yín àbíbì kan sìn, àwọn àfáà náà máa wá bá. Fákìdù ṣe yín Layute, you cannot give what you don't have. That is just it. So, lack of understanding, stigma and misconceptions around counseling. There are a lot of people, especially, and I am not apologetic, láti sọ eléyìí, our brothers wà kan, and I don't want to start mentioning them, torí pé láàrin wọn náà sì gan àtúndà àwọn èèyàn mọ̀. Wọ́n máa sọ fún yín pé you cannot teach me how to handle my home. Tẹ́ bá ní káwọn èèyàn wá fún premarital counseling, ṣé ẹnìkan ló fẹ́ sọ nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ bí mo ṣe fẹ́ tọ́jú inú ilé mi ni. So it's still there fáwọn èèyàn wa. Non-availability of counseling centers, ibi tí gbogbo wa ti wá nìyẹn. Nínú ìjọ yín, kódà kó jẹ́ pé 50 members lẹ ní, you should have a counseling center. Because people don't know where to go. This is also a problem. Then limited Muslim counselors. Ilé iná wà ń bẹ̀. Àwa mélòó gangan la jẹ́ professional counselor. Ta lè counsel àwọn èèyàn tí ò ní jẹ́ pé advice la fẹ́ máa fún àwọn èèyàn. Recommendation, that's the final one. Ṣé recommendation yìí mo pín sọ́nà méjì. Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ni short term. Àwọn èyí tó ṣe yí pé yíyàjó tó sì rọrùn gbogbo wa tá bá délé sìn. It's just like an action plan. Tá bá jọ délé sìn ká lọ mójútó. Gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ tó wà níbí àti Nasfat. Àwọn long term wà ń bẹ̀. Àwọn kan wà tó yí pé Nasfat náà tí máa ṣe àwa náà máa mú bẹ̀ lénìí. Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́, creating a working counseling center at our respective organizations and branches. Tó bá yẹ pé Sundays lè máa meet ìmọ̀jọ́ tí criterion mi ìmọ̀jọ́ ìjọ tẹ bá máa meet yẹn ẹ lọ ní counseling center kan lọ́wọ́ òbí kan ẹni tó bá wá tó bá nǹkan mi wá kó lè rí ẹni tó máa bá kódà kó jẹ́yàn méjì náà attend sí ìjọ yẹn ẹ lọ ní láwọn àsálàtù wa ní branches wa there is a need for us to have a working counseling center tàdé máa léèyàn ń bẹ̀ tí wọ́n fẹ́ lọ bá you can refer ọ̀dà ìpínlẹ̀ ìgbé wa ó ti kọjá agbára mi o you refer the person. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì, creating counseling centers accessible to people all through the week. Brahman ẹ jẹ́ kí chairman mi gbélé. We need to have counseling centers táwọn èèyàn lè lọ láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀. Ọjọ́ Sunday wọ́n ti mọ canopy kan tí wọ́n máa ń lọ láláúsá bóyá àwọn branch wa kọ̀ọ̀kan náà ní. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ní ọ́fíìsì kan. Let us raise the money. Let us have an office open to people. That might be signboard. Nasfat counseling. I don't know under what agency of Nasfat this is going to fall. You know, only imagine counseling is not an agency. So only under one of the agencies of Nasfat, not mama operates. Only Jebako. I don't know, but there's a need for us to have counseling clinic. Bóyá office kan, bóyá room apalo kan laba kasidi kan, bóyá shop kan láàrin ọjà kan. I don't know, but there's a need for us to have a place beyond online, where people can just walk up to and discuss with anybody. Organizing trainings and workshops. You know it and she. You know, organize any organization here, we will come. If we as participants, we will come. Tẹ́bá rò pé ẹ need anybody nínú wa, ẹ wá bá wọn jọ̀mọ́ wa tó tún pọ̀ jù báyìí, àwa méjìlá wa lélẹ̀, ẹ wá bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. We will come. There is a need for us to have trainings. Creating awareness on the need to speak out. Níwájú àwọn jọ̀mọ́ yín tẹ́bá kò bí. These are short term. Ẹ dúró síwájú àwọn jọ̀mọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kán mọ̀ pé don't bottle up emotions. If you are facing anything, speak out. Ojú tì ní o, àbí ẹni tó fẹ́ wá sọ fún mi pé ìyá alágbájá náà mi mọ́jú láàárọ̀ yìí. Ṣé àwọn kókò ní lè sọ? Àmọ́ ẹ jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pé wọn gbọ́dọ̀ dákẹ́. They need to speak out. Àwa fúnra ara wa, kódà àwọn ọmọ ọwọ́ ọkùnrin, àní ọkùnrin ní ẹ̀ náà, má sunkún, kò ṣe ní sunkún. Ṣé bí ọkùnrin lára tá a fi kó bá wa dì sí nìyẹn. So we need to speak out. Let us encourage people. Àwa fúnra ká dúró wájú àwọn èèyàn wa, ká jẹ́ kán mọ̀ tá a wá gbọ́n bíbà yìí. And the need to have the center. And finally, lórí short term, encouraging students to study guidance and counseling or counseling psychology or any related course. This is very, very important. Àti rí i sí pé we need that course to solve a lot of problems. Immediately, I'm a member of APROCON, Association of Professional Counselors of Nigeria. I was a member of CASN. Ìkan náà àwọn lecturers wa ló sọ wá di APROCON. Tọ́kọ̀ wa lọ sí APROCON. Mo lè sọ fún yín bẹ́ẹ̀ wípé ní Mùsùlùmí tó ń bẹ o. Ní o. So we need this. Àwọn ọmọ ẹja encourage wọn. These are short term plans wa. Ẹja encourage wọn. Èmi fúnra mi mo yìí ń bá ẹnìkan sọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n kó súnmọ́ Fountain University. Mo ní ṣe Fountain University London education wọn ṣe counseling wà níbẹ̀. Ọ̀nà òṣùọ̀. Mo ti pè yàn kan bẹ̀ lónìí mo ní bá ń wádìí kí náà ń ṣe London education the faculty of education. Kọ́ọ̀sì wo tí counseling bá wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ọmọ mi gbọ́dọ̀ lọ ṣe. Kò ní choice o. Kò bá dé kó wá gbé certificate ẹ̀ lé mi lọ́wọ́. Báwọn kan ṣe wọ́n ní bàbá àwọn ló fọ́ọ̀sì àwọn lọ ṣe lọ. Ó dẹ̀ dé wá gbé certificate lé bàbá ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́. Ó lọ ń ṣe nǹkan míì. Because mo mọ̀ pé ó máa yanjú problem long term, and that's going to be the final one. Mo ní mẹ́ta péré mbẹ̀. Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́, creating a special scholarship for Muslim students who want to study counseling. That is going to be an encouragement. Counseling level ṣe nígbà tí Nasfat Fountain University nígbà tí a bẹ̀rẹ̀ Arabic and Islamic Studies láti lè encourage èèyàn torí pé lójú ẹni tó máa dédé ní kọ́mọ ẹ lọ sí private university àwọn èèyàn ò gbọ́ yé reason tí Fountain University ò fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Islamic Studies. Arabic studies èèyàn mélòó nu yín ló máa san 500,000 fọmọ ẹ pé ó yá lọ study Islamic studies ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ò tí ì gbọ́yé débẹ̀ á san 1 million kó lọ ṣe biochemistry torí pé àgbà pé yẹn tà níta torí pé tó fẹ́ lọ kọ́ yunifásitì àgbà pé tó fẹ́ fi jẹun ní. Nígbà tá a tí Fountain University gbé Arabic and Islamic studies kalẹ̀ yìí tó jẹ́ kí àwọn èrò máa yá ń bẹ̀ ní wípé scholarship làwọn kan gbélẹ̀ organisation wa kódà kó jẹ́ ọmọ kan lọ́dún la bá lè ṣe ní scholarship pé ọmọ tó bá decide láti ṣe counseling tiwa ni wípé make sure pé next semester àbí next session make sure pé 2-1 o jápò 2-1 kó lè mójútó àtúnsanwó ẹ̀ èèlò lówó ọ̀hún. Ẹ jẹ́ encourage wọn ẹ jẹ́ gbé scholarship kalẹ̀ long term my chairman mo mọ̀ pé ẹ̀ note ẹ̀ influencing policy makers NUC Natais nítorí mi sọ pé ó dùn mí tí Professor Saheed Mẹ́yìn ti kú omi. Àwọn ọmọ wa èmi Islamic studies mo kọ́ yunifásitì ẹ̀ má jẹ́ òyà yín lẹ́nu o wípé counselor kí ló ń ṣe ní Islamic studies ní kádàrá tì mí sí mo dẹ̀ gbà fọ́lọ́ mbẹ́. Àmọ́ níbi Islamic studies tí mo wà yẹn mo ti influence so many things púpọ̀ nínú àwọn nǹkan míì tó wà nínú curriculum wa ní tí ò wúlò fáwọn students tá à ń kọ́ ni. Àṣàríyà kí ló yẹn àṣàríyà kí ni early Islamic philosopher ìtàn lásán ni kò sí nǹkan fẹ́ fi ṣe kò sí nǹkan fẹ́ fi ṣe ìtàn lásán ni wọ́n. Àwọn nǹkan kan wà tó jẹ́ contemporary kìíní issues òun ni ká kó wọnú syllabus tabari nínú wa bíbà yìí tó lè influence policy makers. Àwọn AUC àìmọye courses náà ti sí wa nígbà tá a fẹ́ ṣe accreditation ní November December ní university ibi tí mo wà wọ́n wá ní ká lọ generate indigenous courses. Èmi ni mo wá generate Islam and counseling as an indigenous course in my university. I wrote the synopsis, I developed course outline, I developed all of that for that course and I will be taking the course. A ní ìdí ẹ̀. So gbogbo ẹni tó bá mọ bá ṣe lè wọlé sáwọn bóyá Minister of Education bóyá kinní kankan díẹ̀ ẹ mọ̀ pé ká tó débẹ̀ yẹn tó bá padà ní pé ó yá a ti gbà ó àwọn wo ló fẹ́ máa kọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ develop àwọn tó fẹ́ máa kọ́. So that's a long term, very important. Muslim counselors should have a national body to canvass support and push for policy formulation. Very important. Mo sọ̀rọ̀ APROCON, mo sọ̀rọ̀ Counseling Association of Nigeria, APROCON Association of Professional Counselors of Nigeria. Let us have Association of Professional Muslim Counselors. Tó bá jẹ́ àwọn mẹ́wàá náà wà ń bẹ̀ national. Nígbà táwọn mẹ́wàá bá jọ wà ń bẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé oníkálukú ti ń súnmọ́ retirement bí wọ́n ṣe ní ṣiṣẹ́ káwọn ẹlòmíì máa bu ọbẹ̀. Àwọn náà máa push fún policy àwọn náà máa ṣe yẹn very very important. And finally, professionals should work together to formulate more counseling models, theories and therapeutical interventions. Àwọn models kan mo ti kálẹ̀ kan yẹn istikhara rukia a nídìí kí àwọn professional counselors tó jẹ́ mùsùlùmí wá papọ̀ pé ewu tún ni òkè irú istikhara yìí báwo la ṣe lè tún develop ẹ̀ tó ṣe yí pé even gan ẹni tó bá jẹ́ ọ̀tá Islam kò ní choice àfi kó gbà. So ó nídìí káwọn yẹn is a long term thing but ó nídìí ká padà kájọ kóra wájọ tábà wá ní body tí mo ṣe ní number 3 kò sí bá ṣe fẹ́ ṣe formulation yẹn kọ́lọ́n kó jọ nínú àná ẹ̀kọ́ máa ṣe àkún wa. Thank you very much for listening. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. We thank our Imam. I think this is the time that from the morning that we have been having this series of the discussion to guide us on how we can be ourselves and how we can improve ourselves as a counselor. The purpose of this workshop is to open the where Nasfat is going to. How we can have a national Muslim professional counseling association or institute. But if you don't have this workshop and we started doing it by ourselves, how are we going to pass the message to the other organization? And I know that all the organizations here today have noted it. Even I believe that some organizations might be having this kind of mind before. But how are they going to go about it? That is the challenge. But that's what has opened it now. Inshallah Rahman, this workshop will bring another opportunity for all the Islamic organizations. As individual, as a body that want to be trained as a counselor. We have professional counselor, which I'm part of them. We have a life coach, a therapist. They are going to train our Muslim brother and sister so that the body will not be on Nasfat alone. I said it earlier that if you want, especially on the premarital counseling, Nasfat brother or Nasfat sister want to marry another brother or sister from another organization. Especially our brothers, like Imam said, most of our brothers, they are so difficult on the issue of counseling. And this is my point. Anytime I'm talking to any sister that come for the counseling session, that I'm in a relationship and I want to be guided on how to deal with my spouse and my fiancé, I will tell her, I cannot train you alone, because if I train you alone, you just be a half-baked. You need to come with your fiancé. I said that you will not come. You know, they said that all those counselors, they have their own problem too. If he will not come, two things. It's either you do what? Let him go, or you run away from him because he really loves you. He will follow you to that counseling session because he needs it more. If you have been counseled and you started practicing the modality and the method that they taught you from the counseling class, you never understand it. Under Nasfat, the academic average that always guide on the professionalism on how to train members on different professions is the one that is going to give us the presentation on that one now. Please, we have our members from different organizations that they are going to be among the panelist session. And inshallah, by 4:30, we are going to leave this place after the Salat Asri. So please, I want to appeal to every one of us to let us reason together. Imam have said it. That is why he put him at this session. Allah will guide us aright.
Having said that, it is imperative for us to enjoy the smooth ride given to us by the Nasfat Counseling Committee. With that, I welcome to the side of the hall the GM, AVEC Institute, and Agency of Nasrullah Ifati Society, Mr. Abdulwasil Ayola. Kindly come to the side of the hall. You'll be speaking to us on the topic, the basic social skills for Islamic leaders and workers, enhancing empathy and knowledge in leading a dynamic organization. Mr. Abdulwasil Ayola. You are welcome. It's a ride without bumps, so don't get tired as we continue to work for our Islam.
I slide. Hello. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wa subhanallah adada qalihi warida nafsina ashi warida da kalimati. First and foremost, I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I equally want to stand on the protocol. And I want to greet all of us in the most distinguished form of greeting that is also going to be the greeting of the people of Al-Jannah by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm still expecting my slide. Alhamdulillah. This, can I call it the last presentation? at this August occasion, though it's coming up 1st of February. It is August because it's going to be the first edition of a collaborative workshop put together by the National Counselling Committee of Nasfat and AFEC Leadership Academy. And that is one of the reasons why I'm here. Whatever this morning, they are just tips of a big iceberg. Tips. So why we are extending our olive branch to all of us is that ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣàṣepọ̀. Àwọn ìṣòro tí ó ń face àwọn Mùsùlùmí ó ń ṣe Nasfat nìkan ló wà peculiar to. Organizations. And the more the merrier. If we come together, we can fine-tune better solution and it will be more cost-effective for us. And we area relationship with also at the matchmaking. You can marry across different Islamic organizations. Yeah, that's not to make it easy for us. So the job is well cut out for me. Next slide. So I'll be talking to us about the basic social skills we should have. Part of it, we assist our counseling practices. So at the end of the day, I'll talk to us about AVEC, even if it's 30 minutes. It's one of the reasons why I'm here. We also gain some insight into fundamental social skills we should have. Everybody must develop that skills. And we must develop the same skills in our children. Otherwise, they will not be competitive. Those skills make us to be competitive, even in the place of work, when they are looking for leaders. And lastly, they will also enhance our interpersonal relations, even at our centers, as faith-based organizations, at our Salatu, at our Usra, at our different meeting points and events. It's going to assist our productivity, it's going to assist our client and customer relations, and that is why we are here. AVEC is a conception and a fully owned idea by a foremost Islamic organization, Nasfat al-Fatih, that is putting this particular program together. The conception came up in 2010. AVEC got incorporated in 2019. And I came on board in 2020 as the pioneering GM. Alhamdulillah, what we have done so far, since 2021, we have done a lot. We saw the vacuum, that it has always been complained, the leadership deficit, the way we recruit our leaders in Nigeria. We are recruiting mostly wrong leaders. So we can't continue to be on the complaint side. We need to change the baton and start asking questions, what are we doing to correct that deficit? And that is what gave birth to AFEC Leadership Academy. And what AFEC stands for is part of the mantra of the current administration of Nasfat, lead. The L in the lead agenda stands for leadership. Second one is empowerment. A is agent of change. And the last one is Dawa. And I think the last speaker before me have talked more why we need to put Dawa in our counseling model. Next slide. So, AFEC has his job well cut out. Part of it is to train leaders, to identify leaders and train them. Nasfat and non-Nasfat. Even other people are benefiting from us. Some Christians are attending that are free online. Next slide. Next. Let me tell you a few of our stories. Over 9,000 people. Over 9,000. And 60% of them are women. With full support of Nasfat. Women from other organizations are attending our program. So it's quite encouraging. So our aim is to have trained minimum of 1 million people by the time we get to 10 years of active engagement. May Allah make it easy for us. Also, we have launched some flagship program. One of it is in the flyer we have distributed to us. fellowship program. We are doing second cohort. We did graduation last year of the first cohort. Very interesting. Some of our fellows, some of our alumnus, they've got appointment in the place of work, they've got promotion. And some of them even refer people that are in the second cohort we are running now. Because during the program, their bosses saw changes in their life. That what it changed you, like one and those changes brought about promotions. So what we are simply saying is that if you don't invest in your professional and personal development, you can't expect those automatic changes we always talk about. Talk is cheap, but you need to invest. You need to invest your time. You need to invest your resources to create a better you. And may Allah make it easy for us. So we launched fellowship program. We are holding second cohort, and that now has taken up to almost 50 people in 2 years. It's a 12-month program, basically online, and our graduation is physical and online too. We have candidates from Zamfara that graduated from Nasfat. We have candidates from Sokoto, in the one we are running now. We have from Niger. We have from Edo. We have graduated. We recruited 100, and we found 80 of them very functional. So they are very happy. In the future, you will be seeing our testimonial in our YouTube. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, in entrepreneurship, we have collaborated and we have trained close to 40 people through the help of Nazars, and they are well funded. After training for 2-3 days, they were funded to a tune of minimum of 500,000 naira. So when you see our advert that we are calling you for application, we are calling for registration, we are calling for volunteer, what we get us is to reciprocate, because why we are doing this program today is for collaboration, and it's one of the skills we are going to learn here today. Let me go to the business and get to result. Next slide. Basic skill. Next slide. So I've said it earlier. In the workplace today, you can't be competitive if you don't have some social skills. You can't be competitive. When they are looking for leaders, nobody will mention your name. But if you sharpen your social skills, when they are looking for leaders in the place of work, your name will be in the first two. There could be biases, but at the time, allow us make you scale through. Because people say, whether it's a Muslim or not, this is the best candidate because you have the requisite skill set. So, and one of it we are going to learn here today, and we have told us all these things make us better off, and we'll be able to manage that very well at our different centers. Some of us that we don't manage our stakeholders very well. Our schools, some of them are they are now politicians, they are now ministers. But we are not relating well, and we are not doing better. Next. Islam emphasizes the need for social skills, and that is why the Prophet said that all of us are leaders. And I ask you, how you have what? Led. Have you led well or not? Next. So we can go for definition. So simply put, those are basic abilities and behavior that enable individuals to interact more effectively and harmoniously with others. So whatever improve your, what it means is that you are enabling your social skills. You are sharpening your skills. Because what is most important in this world is your relationship with others. There are some people I have related with in the last 30 years. Once in a while, they still call me to thank me. In my secondary school days, it's only one teacher I remember. Because that's the only teacher that has influenced my life more positively. And when she died, I was weeping. She just died last year. I was weeping. So it's about relationship. And social skill is one of the things that exists. Let's move. So you can see that boy. Tebari ọmọ Hausa tó ń da màálù. Ọmọ ẹ̀ ò ní jọmọ méje lọ. A máa control màálù 200 pẹ̀lú ọ̀pá kékeré náà ni. Ọmọ ẹ̀ ń demonstrate ní kíni leadership skill, social skills. Ẹnu kọ́ ló fi ń bá àwọn ẹran yẹn sọ̀rọ̀. Ó ní skill yẹn. So ó ní kọ́ta sọ fún wa yẹn. We are simply saying that you're going to be an exceptional leader. Regardless of your sex, regardless of whatever divides us as human beings. is the amount of social skill that makes you a different leader. How sharpen are your social skills? Your interaction, your relationship with others. How influential are you? Next. So scholars have argued that we can group those social skills, those basic ones. Some pick 5 models, some pick 7 models. But let me go with even just 5 models. Empathy is one of it. If you don't develop how to sharpen your empathy skill, how to sharpen your application of the skills, and with various examples through training, emotional intelligence training, so many social skills training you have attended with workshop, you can be a better leader. You can be a better leader. And as customer service center at our different places of Asalatu or Usura, we need to exemplify that. We need to have a section that welcome people. And we need to empathize with whoever is rushing down to our Asalatu or Usura center. In fact, we need to have a where we give them soft, how will I put it, cold water to cool off. So, empathy, we are sourced in that area. So let's move. We have empathy, we have communication, we have collaboration and others. So scholars have grouped all of them broadly into 3. They will sharpen our skills. Some will sharpen our professional skills. Some they are about Islamic etiquettes. Like patience now is an Islamic etiquette. You need to learn it from the lens of Quran and Sunnah and from the manifestation in our life in the place. There are situations that will test your patience. Even from conductor engagement on daily basis. So, let's move. There are about 30 of them, but I won't have time more than mentioning like 6 for us here. Under communication, empathy. A lot has been said by empathy. I want to emphasize application. I want to emphasize application and example. And I will cite example here. During COVID-19, most of Islamic organizations, we saw the need to create palliative and distribute food to Muslims. Nasfat did it. Nasfat did it through Nasfat Relief Agency. Other Islamic organizations do it. There was a joint one that was even done. Collaboration with other. So that is empathy. It should not stop with emergency. That is one of the areas we can always collaborate and do together. There's nothing wrong during Eid al-Kabir. Most of the Eid, we collaborate coalition for children's mind. Muslim community, we come together, we buy gifts, and all these children get gifts on 2 days of Eid. And they say, Daddy, I want to go to the Eid early to collect tickets because there's always gifts after Eid. So we can always collaborate. So those are some of the things we can do. So it's not only when there are problems. It's not only during COVID-19, and I know so many organizations also did what Nasfat did. One of the scholars that talk with empathy is Mufti Menk. Anytime he talks, you see empathy in his speech. And that is one of the things we must imbibe as a skill. Next one. Collaboration skill. Collaboration brought us here. We can collaborate in so many areas. A joint project like this, that every Muslim organization should have working, functional counseling centers. We can do exchange program to train our workforce for the counseling center to be functional. We will spend money. We will commit resources. What Nasfat have done here today, for those of us that have organized program, we know they have committed millions. There's no way those collaboration will work if we are not ready to commit our resources. So we must be ready to commit our resources. Only so we need to get those things right. So what we are calling us to is to learn collaboration skill, and it has to be fully collaboration. Our language must be collaboration, our attitude must be collaboration, our action must be collaborative. Application is what I've mentioned. So application is what is happening here. Professional. That next. Let's make quality our watchword. Some people came into the or after 2 o'clock. That is businesses or time consciousness. People know even of work. Some people always say, I'm the first person I joined this, other people did not, and I went mute. No. There's a way Allah reward punctuality. And punctuality is a characteristic of a leader, an exceptional leader. So we must do that. And how do we imbibe that skills? For everything we want to do, let us have to-do lists. After our tajud in the morning, if we don't plan, some of us don't plan weekly. Our weekly plan is supposed to evolve on Sunday. I want to marry Monday to next Saturday. But if we don't have that, after our tajud early in the morning, we can try to identify what do I want to achieve today. Let's talk to ourselves. Let's do to-do list. My to-do list, let's put timeline. What time do I want to get to CMD today so that I'm not late? So it's one of the things that make us to be better. And we need to also decide how we want to improve on that aspect of our skill starting from this 2025. So we need to do a lot. The Prophet ﷺ has told us that verily Allah is excellent and he loves one that is what? Excellent. Okay, you are even talking about the other skills. Okay, after collaboratives, after punctuality, under professionalism, next one is excellence. Please, in everything we do, always aim for excellence. Always aim to be the best. And that's the only reason Allah can assist you. If they give you Islamic work, a committee work, let your committee perform the task that year with a difference. Let it become a memorable performance. That was the committee that organized that program 2025 is different. It's a big difference because Allah loves excellence. So in the place of work, we must demonstrate that. We have seen some of our Muslim fathers and mothers, because of their excellence in their place of work, they have earned so many awards, earned so many accolades. And excellence can even earn you a lifetime award from the international community. But they have measurement for that. Some, you must have imparted life for 4,000 hours in your life. Some 20,000 hours before you can earn that certificate of excellence. It's a lifetime award. Next one. I'm almost done. So, Islamic etiquette. Number one is dress code. Please don't let occasion define you. You should set the pace. We have seen a Muslim sister that was going for interview. 100 meters to the interview venue, she removed her hijab. She's going for interview on accountancy. She removed her hijab. The person that she met at the bus stop, she didn't know that that person is the chairman of the panel of the interview she's going to. That one I've seen her, how she dressed. So on getting to the interview, that person saw another person. You know the question that person asks after they have done all the necessary things at the interview? He said, why are you a chameleon? 10 minutes ago, you were not like this. How can you be trusted? You have removed your hijab. So if you are so confident in the way you appear, you don't need to change because of interview. But what we must learn is that about dress code, Islam preaches modesty. You must learn that. And you must fulfill all the ethics of dressing. Surah Al-Araf. Allah says, Alubasu Taqwa. It's a dress code that commands faith, that is not revealing, that is not threatening others. You got to war. You don't need to threaten anybody. You don't need to make it unnecessarily loud. Then one thing we must also note is that dress for a position you want to occupy in an occasion. I've passed through the same gate twice. First day, I wore like 3/4, wore ordinary slippers and face cap. They asked me where retire at that estate. The gate man queried me for 5 minutes. The next day I was coming, I put on suit, Monjaficon, I put on very good. The gate man was saying, welcome sir, welcome sir. The same gate man, the same people. So anywhere you are going to somewhere, dress for the position you want to occupy. Dress the way you want to be addressed. Conductor don't refer to anybody that dress very well. I've had that dress very well neatly, you say Afa, everybody for me change. So they will not abuse you. And lastly, flexibility and what? Adaptability. It's an Islamic etiquette. So please, if we are not flexible at Nasfat, we wouldn't have this program. We must be able to change ground so that we can accommodate others. Only when we are flexible, we can manage changes. We can manage challenges. We can do new things. That innovative ideas can come from the least person in the organization. So as leaders, we have to be very flexible, and Prophet demonstrated that on so many instances as examples. On Zakat, it is allowed during the harsh economy and difficult times, those who have money can pay Zakat on 2 years in a particular year. During Eid al-Adha, you can kill ram of just 6 months old. That is flexibility even in fact in Islam when the economy is harsh. And even on Zakat Nizab, we can use silver measurement as Nizab when economy is harsh. That is flexibility in our religion. So for whatever we do in our organization, even our constitution, we can look at it and take out what is not flexible there. Because that is the only way we can survive in the modern days. And lastly, I want to end with my closing quote. That the greatest danger of today, because today we are facing turbulence in everything we do, is to act with yesterday's what? Logic. To think the way you were doing things in 1991 will still work now. It's the greatest danger. Even when we are reading our organizational history, that's what when we started. Things have changed now. The children of today, they want to take the baton from us, and that is why you see the Council Committee now, they are launching app. In 1980, there is no app. There is no phone call. Some of us married through overnight phone call. It's not the hinting now. So you cannot use yesterday logic to solve today's what? Problem. Saved by Peter Drucker. Peter Drucker died in 2005. Next one. My parting short. I know so many people will ask me, all this thing we are saying, how do we do it? But we have about 36 skills in our model. This module is a course in AVEC. That's why when we advertise, we want you to collaborate with us so that you can see full model. Because the full model of our program, you are going to pass through workshop, you are going to enjoy every moment of the training. And it's very flexible. It's very flexible. So, very flexible and available. People may ask us, how do we now get all these skills? How do we do it? Number one thing you must note is that Allah told us in the Quran Kareem, Allah will not give to you what you don't strive for. It is what you are striving for, Allah will give you. If you struggle to be the best in everything you do, Allah will grant you that position. If you are not doing that, you won't get it. Then a scholar said, how do you start? He said, start where you are. You have identified, do your SWOT analysis, identify your weaknesses, and start from taking care of those gaps as weaknesses in your life. Start where you are. Then the next question is, how do we get resources? Use what you have. Use what you have. AVEC has monthly program that is free from January to December. So if you cannot go for paid one, if you have explored the opportunity of the free one, you are better off than somebody that has not done anything. The risk in doing nothing is more than doing something. So then lastly, do what you can. Say, how do we start counseling center? Start from where you can start. Do what your organization can do. If it is with resources from sponsors, from volunteering, from internship, start how you can start and start from where you are. May Allah put blessing in whatever we are able to do. Thank you very much.
We thank our GM AVEC for the well packaged presentation. That is one of the agencies in Nasfat that train us to be a professional. You can be trained and later become a facilitator under AVEC. Please, I want to appeal to all the organization here today. We know you are doing a lot, but please, we need to change our modality of doing things. This generation need another thing from us, and we need to venture into the ideas. The next thing that we are going to now is the new idea of Nasfat to all Muslims. It's not for Nasfat alone, because as long as you have Android, you are checking the Instagram, Facebook, and you will see the thing I want to talk about there. And sir, you are a real a dedicated Muslim. But how are you able to maintain your what on generation situation? Maybe you want to get a spouse, you want to go to school, they are depressed, you don't know the course they want to take. They need somebody to talk to. Yes, from our own research, you discover that we have different organizations for Salatu. Salatu is now 50%. To go for counseling is now 50%. So that people don't believe the prayer that come to Salatu for. But after that prayer, they need somebody to guide them on certain things. For example, somebody that come from home, maybe she and her husband, they have issue. But she has prayed, and you have to believe that the prayer has been answered. But before you come out from the gate of that, your Salatu will be thinking that husband, she tí mo bá délé ṣé ọkàn mi máa balẹ̀ lórí ẹ̀ báyìí ó ti ṣáájú ọkàn ẹ̀ balẹ̀, but assuming that after that prayer you now get somebody to talk to that this is what my husband is doing, and the counselor are able to guide her, the prayer that he has already done and the word that the counselor or the therapist has already guided her, that one will go together and we guide her to be able to manage her husband at home or to be able to manage the wife at home. So inshallah Ramon, we're going to the next.
The next item on the agenda, which is the match-up, the unveiling of the match-up app. To do that for us, is Mrs. Rahmat Lasisi, unveiling of the match-up app. Of course, now you cannot call Ambio and say Ambio come unveil. You don't need to say it. You already know who is standing. She's an IT guru. Come and enroll. So our IT expert. So she's here to unveil the matchup app.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So I want to start on the existing product. Let's go straight to the business.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. First, I think whoever will do the appreciation will come. I just want to thank all our organizations that are here, all our leaders. After this event, the program that we've been able to outline today, Nasfat is looking at a situation. There are so many date apps that we have online that are putting our sisters and brothers in trouble. And people are getting vulnerable to this. You know, our sisters are in their need of husband, our brothers are in their need of their own spouses too. Nasfat have done that research and discover in putting this program together to ensure that we now launch something that will get a lot of our brothers and sisters that are in diaspora to have a proper and halal way of matching people. Our own will be unique in the sense that
Nobody will ask you for your profile. What we ask from you will be, what do you want in terms of the man you want? What do you want in terms of the woman you want? We'll get your profile and we'll use a site, a physical confirmations of things, not just online assumptions. We must unveil who is behind that name and do our digging based on what our brother Said has done here today, following the normal things in Islam, on the way we go about counseling, do istihara, and all those things that they've outlined in ensuring we do a proper match. We know it's only Allah that will guide us, and that's why we have what we call Nasfat matchup. People have been asking questions. Is it going to be like the usual date apps? It's not. This is not date apps. What we are trying to do is to be able to connect and solve problems that people are facing globally. Because as we are facing here in Nigeria, so many people are facing across, especially our Muslim sisters and brothers. Some people will say, I've tried, but I have to go for a Christian. Some people will say, I've tried, I have to go for whoever is available. We don't want our sisters and brothers, our daughters to continue to face this crisis. Nasfat has come up with a solution that is of time. It's technology, but with our own normal intelligence. We are applying native intelligence in the selections of who be husband. We apply native intelligence in selections of who be wife. And due diligence will be done on them before we do the match. So today, inshallah, thank you, Dr. This task. We just started 4th of February, and today we are moving to a year because I told him at the beginning when we started that my focus is that we must launch this thing before we spend a year. And Allah has also made it possible. I thank you and your team. I thank Sister Ramad for the good work you have done over time. These things have been criticized severally. We want you also to look through it as they be unveiling it and also set advices, suggestions, so that we can perfect it before we unveil it to the public. Thank you. On behalf of the National Board of Trustees of Nasfat, on behalf of the National Council of Elders, on behalf of the National Executive Council, on behalf of our National Women Council, the Women of Jannah, and the new, on behalf of the National Youth Council, led by my brother Tajuddin Olashupo, and then the Children Council now, we have them. They are so concerned, so we are giving them support. I hereby want to unveil Nasfat apps for our Muslim brothers and sisters, Muslim leaders that are here, to ensure that we let people know that this is not dating apps. Don't come and play jokes on these apps. Immediately we see you play jokes, we get you off the apps. We want genuine people, and that is why we will not go to the public until we talk to our brothers and sisters, so that we can all be on the same page. But we'll soon be going to the public and launch this, and then we can start solving that critical problem of finding the right couple for our spouses. May Almighty Allah make it easy for us. Like I said, on behalf of those stakeholders and all Nasfat members globally, we hereby unveil the Nasfat app. May Allah accept this as part of act of ibadah that we are putting to the public arena, and take it from us and let us get good result out of it. Subhanahu rabbika rabbil izzati. Takbir. Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Inshallah, the pre-assessment form that they give us, please, we are going to submit, they will be collecting it now, and they will give us assessment form, inshallah.
Okay. So without further ado, I will just go to the slide, please. Okay. So this is a digital approach to faith-based marital counseling. Pretty much the matchmaking. Move to the next slide. So what we are going to present here today, we just have an agenda up here. We're going to talk about the purpose and vision. We're going to let us know the features of the Matchup website, process matchmaking itself. And then, of course, the 3, 7, selling. Yeah, just want to repeat what every speaker mentioned here today. But this basically just sums it up. It gives us a tool to actually, not work in the past, but work with the present, with what is actually obtainable. So this is a tool that will help us to actually do what the expectations of the public, basically. You can move on to the next slide. I think I've already passed. Okay, you're already there. Good. The expectations of the public, basically. We have a back office because we are not just, you have individuals that can be in diaspora. You can have someone next to you. But we need a platform to also be able to manage the cases that we have been able to match. So we've also launched an app. We call it a back office. We call it Counselor Smart. So I'm going to just briefly mention about that. And of course, data security, then future plans and enhancements. So let's move on to the next slide now. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, just briefly mention about that. And of course, it's a dedicated team my line with the future plans and enhancements. It's basically to serve singles, widows, to the next slide, those who are taking second wife within this slide. Just briefly mention about and ensuring marriage readiness through structured counseling. So it's not what is just available like it's not a dating site. That is the thin line between dating and matchmaking. It's not dating. And of course, it's a dedicated team my line with the future plans and enhancements. It's basically to serve singles, widows, to the next slide. That's the name that came to my head now. Perhaps is seeking for a partner. And ensuring comes on the readiness through structured counseling. So it's not what is just available like it's not a dating site. It is age range. All of those are already on the platform. You state your preference. Then there is an algorithm at the back end that the admin, right, would be able to now mind the preference of Sister Aisha. And then would be able to say, okay, Sister Aisha, we have brother Kazim, we have brother we have brother Abdurrahman, we have 3. She comes on the that matches your criteria. You can't even see pictures, but Sister Aisha, she'll be able to see their pictures, she'll be able to see where they work based on what she has specified. And then if she picks maybe brother Abdurrahman, then all of those the job on the platform. You state your preference, and then they are both okay with themselves. Of course, there are faces and there are several faces. So I just try to jump to give you a scenario, then I'll go through the rest of the features. So basically, it speaks maybe brother registration and verification process. You'll be able to sign up, you'll be verified, and then they are both okay with themselves. Of course, there are faces and there are several faces. So I just try to jump to give you a scenario, then I'll go through the rest of the features. So basically, it speaks maybe brother registration and verification process. You'll be able to sign up, you'll be verified. Mean assisted matching for careful pairing. For careful pairing. And of course, confidential is respected. Ethical data handling is also very, very respected. And we have integrated with our back office. So the counselor who is attending to cases would be able to know that, okay, I'm attending to Sister Aisha, even if you have several of cases. So it will be overwhelming on the counselor. They have a link that will help them to manage. So pretty much on the site you are going to see this. You create your profile, find compatible matches, connect securely, and seek guidance. Let's move on to the next slide. So after all of those, there is a 7-session of premarital counseling. It is very mandatory. And essentially it covers key topics, compatibility, financial planning, conflict resolution, because there is no how two people, there will be conflict. But how do you manage it? How do you resolve it? And sometimes if you don't know something, you do it differently. But when you know, there is a way you approach it. And when it involves couple, there is a way to actually manage conflict. So it's also part of what the prospective couple are supposed to learn before going into marriage. Then Islamic marital rights and then family integration, so that they understand family units, how to there are quite a number of it's voluminous, but there are 7 sessions and it's usually guided by Nasfat certified counselors. Next slide. So this is marriage. Each of our counselors are being onboarded. They have their login credentials. For those who are tech savvy, they can log in, record the case, and then it gives us a projection to see how many individuals we have been able to match in a period of time. We can always get those data. And alternatively, for some of our counselors who are not tech savvy, they are logging credentials. Of course, the paper cannot be eliminated, so we have that where they document these cases, but eventually they are scanned into the counselor smart app, and then we have the record as well. Next slide. So, in a period of time, secure case record transparency, scheduling and tracking of sessions, streamline case management for efficiency. That's what the benefit of the counselor smart app is. Yeah, I mentioned data security. It's very, very important. So if I am, someone is looking for a partner, scheduling and all of the information are extremely confidential. They are secured. They are not just what you see anywhere. That's why it's admin managed. So it's strict privacy, ethical handling of sensitive data, and then of course, Nasfat's commitment to responsible matchmaking. So it is a skill. So it's not just okay, it's just a serious business. Yeah, there is a registration, and then there is also payment process. So let's move on to the next slide. Our counselors, we have a section on the match responsible match, so you can explore our counselors. It is a skill. Move on to the next slide. Not just okay. Yes, so this is version 1. And then AI has taken over the stage. So we are bringing in AI to help us in matchmaking, in matching them. So also to save time. Of course, you have to launch an idea. This is an MVP. So in the future version, we are bringing AI to enable us to also make us work more smarter. So we have an algorithm that is in place. So AI is not part of, it's not excluding it in matching them. So also enable time, you have to launch an idea. This is an MVP. So in the future that we have right now, we are bringing AI to enable us to also make us work more smarter. So we have an algorithm that is in place. So AI is not part of, it's not excluding it in share within Nasfat branches and Islamic communities to encourage singles to benefit from that we have right now. It's basically for us to actually start a very good family. Would help to share within our branches to have a big communities and singles. When you do something that you approach it and you don't know. So when you are in the know, it's basically that you are just very good family. Let's look. So this is the code with a link to the website. So you can, when you see, you will be able to view natively URL counseling.org/matchup. But if you put this code now, you will be on the same page. This is the code. I'll just let the link to the stay there. I think the link is just to the website. So you can, when you see there, you will be able to, and they encourage you to please share this with everyone who needs to be matched, and drive and make impact and make the society more sane with responsible and well-known couple. Imagine in Islamic share this Islamic everyone who needs to be matched.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. Thank you very much. Having said that, it has been established that the Nasfat Match Up app, it is not a dating site. It is it has been halalically established.
Alhamdulillah. No more stress.
Don't check the dictionary. Just go to it. All right. So we proceed we are getting to the bus stop. It will soon alight from the bus, which is the Nasfat Counseling Committee workshop for faith-based organization. So we proceed to the panelist session. The first person I'll be calling to the panelist seat here is which is our mother, our activist, and for excellence, a mother, a seasoned mentor. The list is just executive. We have Alaja, the pioneer chairman, Nasfat Counseling Committee. You are welcome, ma'am. A mother, a seasoned mentor. The list is just
You're welcome, my excellence, a mother, a seasoned panelist, mentor. The list is just exhaustive. We have Adacha, the pioneer chairman. Okay, the next person I'll be calling to the seat here is the acting National Counseling Officer for the Muslim Congress, Alhaji Omotunde Wahid. You are welcome, sir. Okay, the next person I'll be calling to the seat here. Okay, it should be followed by the Amir Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, the Amir Lagos State Area Unit, Brother Kamal Habiono. You're highly welcome, sir. The next person I'll be calling to the seat here. Okay, you should now we proceed to the next person to take the seat here. I have the worldwide women leader of National Party Society, Alhaja Babalola. You're highly welcome, ma'am. You're highly welcome. Okay, you should now we proceed to the next person. Now take your seat there. The seat here. I have the worldwide women also we have representing the criterion. We have the secretary for criterion, Ajia Kudro Okolawon. Highly welcome, ma'am. Also, we have representing the criterion. We have the secretary for criterion, Ajia Kudro Okolawon. Highly welcome, ma'am. You're welcome. Representing the criterion, we have the secretary for criterion, Ajia Kudro Okolawon. Highly welcome, ma'am. You're welcome. Moderating the criterion, we have the secretary. We have but to make active is the first question. Number one is what I don't know the question. You are with the question. Moderating the but to make active is the first question.
Today, so that's what I did. But more than Allah says, and how no animal to be that we based of good things we call what is good. I would say telling question get a lot of key here. Most of all, we know Allah loves the Prophet said Allah what is good once. If we are all we keep here to our growth, spiritual growth, psychological growth, our mental growth, life to achieve all headed we here to our growth, spiritual growth, psychological growth, mental growth, to our growth, spiritual growth, psychological growth, mental growth, to our growth, spiritual growth, psychological growth, mental growth, for instance, what the mental health that also as a child so that maybe as a result of that most people don't understand. It's only the after now also somebody comes down is but some people that their level of ability, what person you can be a safe space where that person you cannot be sitting now. It's just walk off. You know, there must be a dedicated place where people meet you, and you that will provide. There must be some regarding the issue of counseling. How can you help other people? We apply. Addition, integrate in what we want to. You know that you say and all that. You know what to say. And we are that it's not about giving advice. You know, we out about why this, why am I going, what are those things I can actually do to make sure that you know I get over it. Then coping medicine. You see some people the way they eat, that is their own coping medicine mode. At times it is sitting down watching TV from morning to evening. Is it is you know, taking drugs, that is their own company medicine. You know, it's when a cancer will intervene that person can be rightly guided. Another one is for a woman that is down with it could be the issue of gender inequality. Maybe the woman is from the home where a woman is being treated like a trash by virtue of the background
can't help it. And we are looking for you to seek. It's not giving advice. Tell me what you are going through. And you need to know. The man might not. Another one is something wrong. Woman of his own background. So you sit down and say, if you want to have gender in it, let's look at it. Maybe the woman collaborate in a home where a woman is being treated like a trash by virtue of the background, cannot take care of some mental health issues. It's far. It's not. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us going right.
I mean, in essence, as a counselor out there, Aja Babalola is saying that you need to shoot the silent go. Don't check the dictionary for that too. Get your things right. You have to get the information from the scratch for you to be able to handle that situation. So what you do instead of what are the challenges facing Muslim counselors? The challenges. I don't know which is that question. In essence, as a counselor out there, Aja Babalola is saying that you need to shoot the silent go. Don't check the dictionary for that too. Get your things right. You have to get the information from the scratch.
When you look at
for
it, some
you
of the
to be able
challenges,
to handle
some
that
are either from the counselors, and then while some are also from those that they want to provide counseling for. Part of those things, number one is that knowledge and awareness.
The challenges.
Because even in those counselors need to be aware. Let's take for example our students, especially services, is an area too we need to. When you look at it, some of the challenges, some of our students now, even writing exams, going for jams and things like that. So some of them just feel, well, what is obtainable in town now is anything, maybe AI or one, and they knowledge and awareness. For the that they have to go and study computer science. And they not knowing that even we have so many people today that study biochemistry and how they can dive into AI, how they can use AI to actually make those things that they have done, how they can use it to be better area. So, but for example, we now have Muslim counselors or brothers and sisters that feel going for chance to counsel this, organizing counseling for our students. In that case, if they are not aware of what are those things, how is AI can contribute to those some of those things. So there are so many courses that they can actually do. Like this morning, they said they can use AI to work. They can use AI to computer science because make those things that they have done that nature. And I feel so don't just know what, for example, that we now have people do in computer science. When we are not aware of those things, we will just tell this, misguide them. You know, we need to direct them. Okay, is it this that you like? Okay, what other things do you like? You are not aware so that you can see how you can use how is AI to better that thing. So a student going to school to study biochemistry, for example, studying any other courses, can always learn data science online. We learn those things online now, and you can use it to in whatever you are doing. Part of those things is also trust. You know, sometimes they feel lecturers who have mentioned it. Why, if I say whatever to this particular person, he keep it to himself, he not be saying it out. Those are some of the part of the endings also discrimination. Like a brother has mentioned to me before his marriage counseling, told wife that going to so somebody from so organization to have our counseling. Wife was like, why will it be not in our own organization. Now, why would we have to go to such and after they eventually went for the EB to himself, he may not be saying it out. Those are some of the part of the endings also discrimination. Like a brother has mentioned to me before his marriage counseling, told wife that going to somebody from so organization to have our counseling. Wife was like, why will it be?
ẹ jẹ́ ká fọ́mọ olùpọ̀ bọ́ so that gbogbo ẹ máa fi wà
Why would we
òkè.
have
I did not read guidelines and counseling. I'm an accountant by profession. What do you expect me to do? He said, go ahead and look for records. But luckily, we were able to get some of our members who read guidelines and counseling. Some of them are here today, like Elijah Adeshino and all that. So when we started, I had to go into the internet to be reading our guidelines and counseling. And I found out that it's not easy to be a counselor. Because at the end of the day, the empathy you have for people coming to you, I'm an accountant. By the time you get home, what do you expect me to do? You will be thinking about this. What can I help this woman? Go ahead and look for. What can I do to help this person? But alhamdulillah, at the end of the day, we were able to save us through red guidance and counseling. Now, here today, the question before me, so when we started role, I had to go into the internet. What role can counseling play in promoting mental health? It's not easy to be a counselor. Now, because there's a lot of things that counseling is to have for people coming to you. We should not wait until a person is having mental challenges for us to counsel this person. What can in our own time, we are always having seminars and lectures, especially for interviews. We will have told all the branches that we are having a lecture tonight, so between so time and so time, we want everybody to gather and then to be able to discuss one issue and then play. Now, from there, some men were not interested before. There's a lot of how can the woman be that cancel us. But later, when they are coming for interview and they saw what we are doing, advising them, some of them will talk about their wife, some of them will talk about their children, we are able to counsel them. You need to counsel people before they have mental issues. A lot of people are going through a lot of mental problems. Now, in other religions, you find out that if a woman or a man is having a challenge, let's say the woman lost her husband, or the man lost his wife, you find out that the Christian members need to counsel people before somebody and counsel that person. They will start counseling from the moment the incident has happened. That issue. Yeah. They also need to counsel our youth. Now, when we talk about drugs, concerned drug taking. And also the Muslim community alone that do stigmatize has if as well, we are able to start together, help those people that have challenges, that know now and after the and I asked them, I'm not a doctor, I'm not the head of HIV. Luckily, I here was also part of us. We are always one thing to the other. At the end of the day, we gain a lot. Because we are going from branch to branch, and we are testing them. So when they are HIV positive, and they don't want their husbands to know, and it's giving them pressure. They will see. And I ask them, I'm not saying, don't worry. If it's positive, that time we have also part of us. I have family health, we gain a lot. Because I'm going from branch to branch, and we were able to help lot of our members. There was a time, so we were going from branch to branch, testing them. And they don't want. There was a time we tested 50 members, and 10 were HIV positive. And up to now, don't worry. Because if they were trained, that time we have because I don't family health, drugs, and giving them away from branch. And now I'm happy to become a member. Remember, all these things there. Innocent young girls. That time we have to go for a visit their boyfriends. We need to be hustling the youth, but not and now I was alone. Let us start with the youth. Because I remember, some of them were I don't get the person themselves is there. And if we don't try our best, they will launch HIV, Nasfat. We need that and brother because like some of them only community that I person themselves all and if that's what and now people are still calling me up. Hey, very early morning. Please, I like that. Have you tested for and go. I said, please don't let this HIV should die. Die.
Amen. You are God bless. Amen. Thank you, ma. I know I am privy to the information. The first thing I know, I met husband, I showed this not get involved in cult groups because from the cult they start taking medication. You have seen a lot of people provide social media. That is so sad. But we please having the challenges together. When your child is good, let us pray with them. Amen. You are God bless. Amen. Thank you, ma. I know I am privy to the information. The first thing I know, I met husband, I showed this not get involved in cult groups because from the cult obligations with their established and principles.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله على رسول الله. We thank Almighty Allah. We glorify Him. And I want to appreciate the organizers of this program for giving me the opportunity to say this. Looking at the questions as read by the moderator, how can the Muslim counselor balance his profession with Islamic value? I want to say that a Muslim counselor has taken up the responsibility of the Muslims. A Muslim is he that Almighty Allah has given the challenges of overseeing the party of a bank. How can a Muslim counselor you are the best of all communities ever evolved by Almighty Allah. So, a Muslim counselor should see himself as going to be offering more than what conventional counselor or what conventional counseling will offer. Going by that fast, because we have it all. Going by Islamic value that the Almighty Allah has put in us. Islamic value in terms of faith, all communities. Islamic ever evolved in terms of faith. So, others do not have it. So, realm is a special realm. Offering the other counselor, they will not talk about the counselor or what Almighty. So, going by that one is the good to us. Because we have it all. Going by Islamic value that the Almighty has in us. Islamic value in terms of faith, all communities. Islamic ever evolved in terms of faith. So, a Muslim Rukia offering it's an Islamic facility. It is not gotten anywhere in going by that one is the faith has our going by Islamic value the Almighty has believed having value as a result of a dream community. A wife dreams that his husband wanted to use him for a ritual, and as a result of that, he left. What is it called? He left where his husband, his husband, our husband, and traveled to experience the place. And up to date, for about 15 years, and we have not been able to resolve it. Both families were better into it. We could not do it. That is just the issue of dream that the prophet has said. Dream is good. We can have it. And you your ritual. Separate the whole family. They have three children. They are scattered all over. They are separated now. Some father, some these children, one here, the other one here. And not today for about 15 years. Another value of his worship about bringing up the issue of dream with that the lack of solace, the obligatory, none of the solace. And you Allah made us to see the importance of the whole family. They have to and الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. Verse 21. Yeah. Oh, you believe, mankind, worship your Lord. Worship that you can, so that you may, so that you can be God conscious. You be in good rapport with Almighty Allah. So the issue of ibadah is very, very important. Reciting Quran, reading Quran, tilawah to Quran, observing wudu, and so on and so forth. These are ibadah. What about Saul? That the prophet says, Asamu Junna.
mankind. It's a fence. Worship your Lord. Some fasting is a fence. Preventing you from having being influenced by shaitan. So another value of Islam is moral. So the issue of moral, which Almighty Allah says in Quran chapter 6, verse 4, Almighty Allah says, "Wa innaka la'ala khuluqin azim." You are on the best. These are ibadat addressing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Prophet himself also said, "Innama bu'ithtu liutammima makarim al-akhlaq." I am being raised to come and complete, to come and perfect, preventing you from the lack of honesty, of stupidity, the lack of justice. All these things are things Muslim counselors are to offer their clients. You are on the best. I want to say that is it not possible that we are we not having rules where honesty is the determinant or the cause of their problem? Justice, humility. The husband will stay, will raise his shoulder like this, and the wife will also raise his shoulder. All these things are things. So I want to say the Islamic value that we have is there for all of us as a Muslim counselor to benefit the world. So I pray Almighty Allah to continue with us and assist us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The long and the short of that is humility. They cannot make us at that will not sit down, right? So we should make sure our Islamic principles and values guide us. There is no discussion, there is no workshop without getting the comments of us seated there too. So I don't know if we have one or two things. I'll just have a few minutes to take that. One or two things to add to everything will be. It says maybe an instance as a counselor you have gone through, how you were able to solve it. So the long and the short of that is that will not sit down, right? Someone should make sure our Islamic principles and values guide us. There is no discussion, there is no workshop without getting the comments of us seated there. So I don't know if we have one or two things. I'll just have a few minutes to take that. One or two things to add to everything will be. It says maybe an instance as a counselor you have gone through, how you were able to solve it. So the long and the short of that will not sit down, right? Someone should make sure our Islamic principles and values guide us. There is no discussion, there is no workshop without getting the comments of us seated there. So I don't know if we have one or two things.
But the reason why I raised my hand before you start to share any experience that's happened before. I'm not sharing experience, I just want to make a point. That's being here from morning to this time. That I did experience for the impact. Action of all those restoration, all the hard experience. This is something I said about anybody here today. That we've had it from the organizer that invited us this past, and we've also seen the effort. We also go back and reciprocate. As you go back, action, all those things we have planted today. The reality of this world, experience, God, generous. That's the order. The only thing that can make it balance or to look normal is that to rise up to these challenges.
Thank you. Thank you. Just like my boss said that everything is Bulaba. So we just have to just do something. That is an appraisal of the program that we just need as
another organization attending this Nasfat Counselling Committee workshop, you have to go home and look inward and do something. Number 2, I think it was a female, yes.
The reality of this call, experience, broad, general. Order. Balance or to look normal. That to rise up to these challenges.
Thank you. Thank you. Just like my boss said that so we just have to just do something. That is an appraisal of the program that we just need as another organization attending this Nasfat Counselling Committee workshop. You have to go home and look inward and do something. Number 2, I think it was a female, yes.
So I want look that maybe out of that 4 Sundays that we should pick one Sundays that we the youth
just like my boss said
maybe like counsel people, they will come to the branch, then they will counsel us for that day.
That we just need as
you understand?
Yes.
I want this workshop. Maybe we should do a program like
and look inward
catch them young.
Number 2,
all these teenage
and do something. Okay.
We should do a program like catch them young. Maybe out of that 4 Sundays, educate them. We should pick like one Sunday. There are some children that we the youth,
just like my boss said,
maybe like counsel people, they will come to the branch, then they will counsel us for that day.
That we
their parents and you understand?
Yes.
I want this what kind of workshop. Maybe we should do a program like catch them young.
Number 2,
all these teenage.
Thank you. Your message is gotten. That's a recommendation. So I believe we have Nasfat youth swing leaders here, and we also have the Nasfat Counselling Committee. That will be a partnership. How MSSN is going to schools, and we can also take it young from our different branches. Wa alaikum salam. Yes.
Maybe we should do a program like catch them young. Number 2, all these teenage.
Thank you. Your message is gotten. That's a recommendation. So I believe we have Nasfat youth swing leaders here, and we also have the Nasfat Counselling Committee. That will be a partnership. How MSSN is going to schools, and we can also take it young from our different branches. Wa alaikum salam. Yes. That's a recommendation. So I believe we have alright. So is there any equalizers here? Okay, if there's not, then I proceed to my boss, Brother Abdulhakeem Olani is going to take my toughest moment as a counselor. Different branches.
I have a lot, but the one that I see very simple but look tough is between the sister that I matchmake and the brother.
You have 2 minutes. Sorry for being.
The brother said that he finished from so school, university in Southwest, and the sister too from so. So when we matchmake them, yeah, you don't normally invest for that.
Okay, if there's not, then I proceed to my boss, Brother Abdulhakeem Olani is going to take my toughest moment as a counselor.
2 weeks before the time, the brother lost his job. That's another issue. But the family of the wife said that, don't worry, because they always say that, try to get solution. I said that she finished and she have specification. She will show me the specification that she wants. But alhamdulillah, I was able to get the program for her. But the challenge is that the brother lied up his certificate. Yeah, when he lost his job, the company I was working 4. Before he was concerned, the brother of his sister so employed the company to come and paint his house. So he was warned that the company sent to that place. So when the family of the family don't know him at all. He was like introduce the family. This like why show me that she did not know this is very brother for her. So sister now related the issue of it's not his job. When he loses his job, he gets another job. This is where the problem. The company that was working for brought to that sister. The company before he was before he the brother of his work the company to come and paint my plane is called so he was the work of the job. That I brought them sent to that place. When the family of the family don't know him at all. No, he was a president counselor. Like it. I don't ask the brothers. Introduce the family, one that is why they show me that. Why not to know that this is very important for her. Sister now related issue.
Thank you for sharing that. Another one. Okay, I'll just give you just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
This story that he just shared just spoiled me. I don't know how the case was resolved. I don't know. Now, I have a case that is really what happened. But I'll just share.
Thank you for sharing that. Another one. Okay, I'll just give you just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
This time that he just shared just spoiled me. I don't know how the case was resolved. I don't know.
Okay, I'll just give you just 1 minute. 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
Mental health condition. And life that I small be lying there. This is a real life story. And this time that he just shared, just got married. I don't know how the person is in the case well. I don't know. Child. Family that was brought up in that kind of environment, so she could not manage it at all. It just threw her into depression.
Tito títí orí yẹn ọgbọ́n anyway lọ check ìwé ìkànnà wọn torí ìkànnà tó bá gùn mo fẹ́ gé ọwọ́ wọn máa fún mi. ṣé twist lẹ́yìn twist lẹ́yìn. kí ló lè stretch ń sìn kò stretch nǹkan kan ọwọ́ rẹ̀ ok ọgbọ́n anyway lọ check ìwé ìkànnà wọn torí ìkànnà tó bá gùn mo fẹ́ gé ọwọ́ wọn máa fún mi. twist lẹ́yìn.
We appreciate our panelists for that wonderful question and answer. And with that, we say it's a wrap for the Nasfat Counselling Committee Workshop.
Kí ló lè stretch ń sìn?
Organization
kò stretch nǹkan kan. ọwọ́ rẹ̀ ok ọgbọ́n lọ check.
It is business for you to get home. And I say it's
hello. Èékánná tó bá gùn gé ọwọ́ wọn máa fún mi.
You treat them also to
give us the closing.
Irú ìbéèrè àgọ́ mo wá síbí òun bí mi pé wúwà yọ àbí kí ló dé wúwà yù tù tá ni wọ́n fún rẹ̀ bó ṣe jẹ́ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ níbí bàlẹ́ mi náà ṣe jákẹ́kọ̀ọ́ gbogbo wa jọ wọ́n lọ ilé ìsirẹ́sì sí wọ́n sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n béèrè ọ̀pọ̀ ṣé torí pé mo dé fìlà.
ọgbọ́n lọ check.
wèrè wọ́n bá pàdé adc kọ nin sọ ma pé mo wá gba voters card ní báyìí àbí kí ni òsì kí ló kàn mí pẹ̀lú adc mo ní wèrè ta ló máa dá kí ló dé táwọn tiẹ̀ rà irú ìbéèrè àgọ́ mo wá sí mo wá sí òun bí mi pé gẹ̀tú wà yọ àbí níbẹ̀ tí máa ń kà wà yọ ọtí bá yọ táyì wọ́n fún ẹ̀ bó ṣe jẹ́ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ níbi bàlẹ́ mi náà ṣe jáde kí n máa mọ̀ bí àdó ṣe jẹ́ kó fún mi wọ́n sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ tí bẹ́ẹ̀ máa sáré mọ́ ṣé torí pé mo dé fìlà.
Adult education.
ṣé jẹ́ pé obìnrin yìí yọ fàlà òdù mi wá bí báyìí fún adédìsí àbí kí ni láì jẹ́ pé bóyá mo fẹ́ tábù tó ṣe tábù fún mi mi ò wá fún adult mo wá sí kíni tìtorí àwọn akàwé bí ni mo wá tìtorí àwọn akàwé ní kíni gbogbo eléyìí.
I want to to say Jazakumullahu khairan to the organizers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it as an act of ibadah. May we all return to our home safely. La ilaha wa la quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaytana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmatan innaka antal wahhab. Rabbana atina min ladunka rahmatan wa hayyi lana min ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة في الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. صلوا على النبي الكريم.
Assalamu alaikum. Please, we want everyone to scan this code so that you can get to further get the information better. Scan this code so that you can get more updates on the activities of today. Please, you can scan the code now.
So you are just going to talk about the Nasfat. Okay, you can take it. Okay, assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So there's a NASA match out today. So
Yes.
can you inform the public about it?
Alhamdulillah. I will be looking at it. I will be working on this for closing the year, by February 4th the year. We hear about the experiences of our Muslim brothers and sisters online, on dating online, and also disappointment, frustrations. So Nasfat just decided, and we sat down over 11 months now to decide to create a apps, which we call matchup apps, Nasfat matchup apps. And this apps is been demonstrated here today. Wise and what it entails in terms of process is quite different from what you see in any dating apps. And we're encouraging a lot of Muslim brothers and sisters that are looking for prospective husbands and wives to come on board and see what this Nasfat matchup have for the humanity. It's well guided. It has a lot of spiritual supportive tools. It also have what I call native intelligence tools. You don't try to go on our Nasfat matchups if you are not ready for it. You must be ready and you must be honest.
because the Match app is a unique thing and it has a lot of features to protect our brothers and sisters so that they will not become victims or become vulnerable to unexpected target people that are always after women or men for a particular purpose that is not allowed.
So how do you prevent the risk of motive? People have different motives.
I just tell you, if you see the stages from when it is explained, we have a lot of background check we're going to do at every stage. So with this, we know Allah. We are not the best, but Allah will guide us all through it. And I said again, there's spiritual support to it, and there's a preconditions of having a premarital sessions, which a lot of people run away from. And by the time we have this session, about 8 to 7 sessions, we'll have got what we want to get. And with Allah, with the mercy of Allah, we'll be all through it. MashaAllah.
So is it a dating app or a matchmaking?
It's a matchmaking app. It's not a dating app. It's quite different from all dating app you hover around. There's no trial in this. If you are not ready, don't come for it. Because we'll get your profile, we'll get the profile of the prospective spouses, and then we'll be able to match two all together and do our physical check, not just online. And then do our also, istiharas about what's to happen, as our Imam have said here, and ensure that we are creating a perfect home for the generations to come. MashaAllah. Thank you.
So you spoke about the importance of building the right family to reinforce a great community, society, the values that parenting requires to be successful. So I want you to recapture some of the high points of your presentation, then we can talk about the Nasfat.
So I should not talk about matchmaking first. I should talk about having a good family.
Just summarize the high points of your presentation.
My presentation, okay.
I can ask you further questions. I will start with your introduction, what you do, who you are, and all that. Okay. So, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you. My name is Dr. Aisha Adetula. I'm a family and relationship coach. I'm an emotional intelligence coach as well. Today we are here at the workshop organized by Nasfat Counselling Committee for the Muslim Ummah, not only for Nasfat but all the Muslim society in Lagos State today. And what are we talking about? It is about peaceful coexistence. That is what the workshop is about. It's about how can we influence the counseling techniques, in having a peaceful environment. Today we could see that we have a lot of challenges in our home. And even though we are doing a salatu, we are praying, sometimes we need someone that we can talk to. Having an issue and getting a right person that you can pour your mind to can even give you a bit of relief, like the saying goes that a problem shared is half solved. Yes, and that is why we are here. So what are we now doing? We are encouraging all Muslim Ummah to have a counseling clinic where we can have an issue people can walk up to, to ask guidance on probably on marriage, premarital counseling, on relationship conflict, on parenting. All those are the problems we are facing, not only Muslims. The world at large is facing. But when we have this in place, it will help us a lot.
I know there's a lot of peer pressure, especially for young adults and adolescents. And what do you think is required in terms of parenting at this time to ensure that the family unit helps build a better society?
Thank you. Yeah, when we're talking about parenting, most especially in this African setting, we have issue with our parenting because of the parenting heritage, the way we are being brought up. We're in Gen Z now, like they used to say it. We need to understand what we call intentional parenting. Most of us are doing parenting, yes, but are we being intentional about it? Being intentional is giving listening here. The years a year of training a child and believing I can use eye contact, body language to one. It's not the life we are living now. We need to give them listening here, show them love. Some children will tell you, I've never heard my parent telling me I loved you. To that extent. So as a parent of this Gen Z now, we need to have a listening here, create a rapport building with our children, be part of their life and be intentional in their life so that we can have a good parenting. And if you look at the world now, the environment we are living, the garage is full of the children. The drug abuse, the depression, the homosexual, the girl. It's come from the fundamental of parenting.
So what do you also recommend for the incessant cases of marital divorce, broken homes, leading to production of broken adults, become menace to the society? What is your advice?
My advice is to go back to premarital counseling. Even those that are married, we can say go back to a counselor, seek for a professional counselor that can help you. I'll tell you, some of this issue is something we can discuss and talk about because you can't give what you don't have. It's only when you have the knowledge of if I'm angry, I need to be patient. If I divorce, the consequence goes beyond divorce. The children involved will bear the consequence. Even you being alone. So when we realize all this, it's only when you go to a professional that will makes you realize this. So our advice that we go for a professional counselor when we're having issues so that we can see. My name is Dr. Aishat Adetula, a family and relationship coach. Thank you.
Summation of your presentation. Okay. So introduction, what they are recommending for counseling that promoting better society. 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Alhamdulillah, my name is Abdulwasi Ayola. I'm the General Manager of AVEC. And AVEC Leadership Academy, a subsidiary of Nasfat, is a partner in this program. So the NCC, Nasfat National Counseling Committee, is organizing this program in collaboration with AVEC Leadership Academy. And the focus is to present the counseling packages of Nasfat to other faith-based organizations. Muslim organizations, Islamic societies that are also doing good work like Nasfat is doing, because we believe the more the merrier. So the aspect AVEC has presented is social basic skills. We realize that all of us running faith-based organizations, we have different gatherings, we have members, but maintenance of our members is much more important than looking for new ones. So basic social skills are among the skills we need to maintain them, we need to retain them, we need to manage them better for greater results. Because all we